Hello there. Do you like to laugh? Are you fond of the occasional musical number? Do you secretly enjoy fart jokes and sexual innuendos? How about extremely vulgar language? If you answered yes to at least one of these, then boy howdy do we have a treat for you. The weird and deranged minds that bring you Strange Fantasy Show have dipped their toes into the proverbial soup of comedy to bring you a new program under the Strange Fantasy Productions umbrella, The Dastardly Dangerous Adventures of Darby's the Cat. Follow the infamous pirate cat Darby's and his mousy best friend Little Gary on high-flying adventures as they... Hey, what are you doing? This is a closed recording set? No, hey, get off me! What are you doing? Ow!
Tonight, else you'll get some more of me knuckle supper!
Kick him once more in his teeth, then tie him up over yonder.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, hush it. Let me tell the good people about the show. 'Tis only proper. Now I be Darby's, the infamous pirate cat. And this is me best mate, Little Gary.
Hello!
And we've got our own show now. So join us on the adventure of a lifetime and listen in and download anywhere you get your podcasts. Savvy?
If you do not mind, we really need to get to the show already.
Yeah, we're good, mate.
Fantastic. Ghost host, take it away.
Thank you. Cue the intro. Welcome to another regaling of strange fantasy. Obscure odysseys meant to shock the nervous system and stir the very core of your soul. Tonight's tale is that of the importance of connection and being. For within us all is the immense desire to thrive and survive. Once we have a little, we want more, because a taste is just never enough. In this installment entitled Inside Man, Part 1.
We made it. Engines powering down. No sign of the enemy ship. Captain? Captain! Oh no! Jensen, give me a hand with the captain. Jensen? Holland? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Fuck. This is... This is Acting Captain Jupiter Valeri to all hands. Please check in at nearest comm station and send a general alert if you need medical attention. Senior officers, if you are able to, please assemble on the bridge immediately.
I'm going to need a few minutes down here, Val. Fire suppression systems have taken care of about 95% of the fires, but there are a few sections where they're not responding.
Glad to hear your voice, Rayburn. Any casualties down there?
No, I don't think so. Some bumps and bruises, but all in all, we're alive.
Any idea how bad it is?
I don't think we're as bad off as we could be. Tudyk managed to get us down in one piece.
Well, Tudyk is dead, along with the rest of the bridge crew. Do what you need to get us stable, and then meet me on the bridge as soon as you can.
Roger that. Out.
Stats are still coming in, but at last count, we have 19 dead, 14 wounded, and 23 unaccounted for. Meaning over 2/3 of the crew are either dead or incapacitated.
Why did we crash?
We were fired upon by a Celestian fighter.
No, I mean, space. It's mostly empty. You have to work pretty hard to hit something.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you, Officer.
Tyson, Hugh Tyson.
You're not one of the senior officers, Tyson, are you?
I'm the most senior one left, sir.
I see. Pilot Tudyk tried to shake the Celestian fighter by skimming the planet's atmosphere.
With arguably successful results.
We're still here, aren't we?
Good point.
Is the ambassador okay?
Unknown. Currently, he's MIA.
Do we know why we got shot down? We had ambassadorial clearance.
Unknown at this time. The fighter never responded to us, so it's possible its comm system was down and it never got our clearance codes. Or it could have just gone rogue.
Where does that put us now?
I can answer that. Good news, Val. Captain. We're still running diagnostics, but it looks like we might still be airworthy.
Really? After a landing like that?
Yes. Apparently, if we hadn't been lost in the lateral port stabilizer, our landing wouldn't have been compromised. It's a non-critical component for deep space travel, but essential for upper atmosphere maneuvering.
And the rest of the ship?
Superficial. At least, as far as we've been able to tell, most of the critical systems have redundancies built in. You may not get a hot shower till sometime next decade, but replace that stabilizer, we can fly.
Can we space warp?
I think so.
Get your team on it. The priority is getting us airborne. Comms and warp drive are numbers 2 and 3. It's likely the fighter that shot us down got caught in our entry trail and crashed. But I'd also like a strategy in case they're still waiting for us. And let's adapt storage bay 13 to a temporary morgue. It has isolated temperature controls and will probably be our best bet. Tolman.
Yes?
Go with Tyson. Take Gibbs and Sprawls with you and do a search of this ship. We have 23 missing people, and I want every one accounted for. Start with the forward hold and...
Captain Jensen! Captain, I insist on knowing what's going on. Ambassador Burton is protected by diplomatic arrangement with...
Miss Nix.
By diplomatic arrangement with the Outer Territories and is assured safe passage.
Miss Nix.
What? What is it?
Captain Jensen died on impact.
She's dead?
Yeah. You're talking to a corpse.
Well, that's... are you just going to leave her there?
Been running damage control. If you haven't noticed, we're not in space, which is traditionally where spaceships feel most at home.
So who's in charge?
That would be me. Is Ambassador Burton all right?
Yes. And he would very much like to know what's going on.
Is he in his quarters?
Yes, of course he is.
Then let him know I'll head down in a few minutes and make sure he's informed of our situation. Tyson, Rayburn, and the rest of you, dismissed.
I really think the ambassador deserves to be updated immediately.
I'll tell you what, Fushan. I was going to take care of the remains of my fellow officers here. But if you're volunteering to do that for me, I can head straight down to see the ambassador. How's that sound?
I will. Let the ambassador know you'll be down once you have finished up here.
Good thinking, Fushan.
I've got to put eyes on the power couplers. If the stabilizer were blown clean off, then all we have to do is replace it. If the couplers are damaged, though, then we've got real problems. Ah!
I've got you, sir.
I guess we didn't quite make it all the way to the ground then, did we?
Looks like the Visium is being supported against those trees there.
Hey, it's only about 4 feet. Go ahead and drop me down. But get an emergency ladder out of storage before you follow me, yeah?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I'm good. I'm all right.
I'll get the ladder.
Okay, let's take a look at you. Oh, my poor baby. What did the nasty people do to you, huh? Couplers seem okay. Looks like a clean break. Mostly superficial. You'll need a good coat of paint and probably a few weeks downtime when we get home, but you'll outlive us all, won't you? Hello? Is anybody out there? Yeah, nice idea, Carol. Yell out into the darkness. That won't get you killed. Any other horror movie cliches you want to try? Maybe walk away from the nice, safe ship to explore the unknown planet on your own. No, I would like to come inside now, please. Burnett? Burnett, I would really like to get back in the ship. Burnett?
Ah! Coming down.
Nuh-uh, I'm coming up. Look out, because I ain't in the mood to make new friends.
You must be Captain Jensen.
Acting Captain Jupiter Valeri. I regret to inform you that Captain Jensen died in the crash.
Oh, I am so terribly sorry to hear that. Captain Jensen was a good person and a fine officer.
You knew her?
By reputation. Unfortunately, I never got the pleasure. My duties usually keep me very insulated from the people kind enough to put up with my unusually intrusive presence. Please come in. Sit down. You're probably all adrenaline right now, and I've got you standing in my doorway. Forgive me and let me offer you something to drink. Now, what can I do for you, Jupiter?
Captain Valeri, Ambassador.
No disrespect intended, Jupiter, but I don't do all that Captain Ambassador nonsense. You want to talk to me, you call me Larrabee, and I'll call you Jupiter.
Larrabee. Your aide, Fushan, said you needed an update?
An update? You have a million more important things to do right now. You'll have to forgive Fushan. She means well, but she suffers from the unhealthy misconception that if I am not catered to constantly, the sun might just implode.
Val.
This is the captain?
Right, Captain, sorry. This planet seems to have some potentially dangerous flora and fauna. The damage is repairable, but the conditions are less than ideal.
We don't have much of a choice. I'll send Tyson to meet you in the airlock. Timeline?
2 hours to get airborne? Maybe another 30 minutes for safety checks.
Understood. Valeri out. Sorry about that. So you didn't want to see me?
I made an idle remark to the effect of desiring to know what's going on, and before I knew it, she was out the door.
Well, as you said, Ambassador Larrabee, I've got a million things to do.
Of course. Just 3 questions, if I may, for my own peace of mind.
Yes?
How is the ship? How is the crew? And how are you?
In short order, bad but fixable. Many dead, but some alive, and I'm thinking this is the worst possible time to find myself in charge.
It is only in times of crisis that our true selves are revealed.
Descartes, 1640?
A fortune cookie, 3 nights ago. Surprisingly insightful cookies.
Hey, how's it going up there?
Nearly finished. Just got to align the power distribution matrix. Gibbs, what are you firing at?
I can't tell, sir. Something was edging along the tree line.
Well, don't fire unless you got a clear shot.
Shit!
What is it? What is it?
Sorry, big ugly bug just crawled across my visor. I'm all right now, sir.
Keep your focus.
Yes, sir. Hey, sir, come take a look at this.
What is it?
I stepped on that roach-looking thing and, well, look at all these little fellas, all coming out to grab a piece of them.
Hey, what's going on over here?
Look at Sprawls. Must be a dozen different types of bugs.
That's fascinating, Gibbs. But I'm more worried about the things that might be trying to eat us.
Here, Sprawls, look at that one. Looks like what you had for dinner that time you tried local cuisine on Zephyra. Holy shit, Sprawls!
What happened? Where's Sprawls?
Something took her. Came up from right behind her and grabbed her ammo pack. Had her back to the tree line before I could even draw my gun.
Everything all right down there?
Not really. I'd really like to get us all back inside now, Rayburn.
Nearly there.
No, don't rush on our account.
Just need to check the connect. Behind you!
Thank you.
I have an idea. What do you say we get inside?
Best idea I've heard all day.
Lowering harness.
Look, sir, must be thousands of them.
Seems like the food chain is a little hyperactive on this planet.
I prefer to stay off the menu.
Give me a hand out of this thing, would you?
I got Rayburn, you get Burnett.
Sir, where's it gone?
What?
That big what's-it you shot. It's gone.
Those insects couldn't have eaten it that fast.
Maybe it was just stunned.
Well, up the ladder. Burnett, move, quickly. Gibbs, you're next. Once you're up, cover us. I've got you!
Don't let go! Please don't let me go!
I can't! Rayburn, can you reach my gun?
No! Don't let me go!
Do it! Shoot it! Just keep shooting! Hey, nice firing.
Thanks.
Get off! Get off me! Get off me! Get it off!
Grab his arms! Pull!
Get me out of
here! Get him up the ladder! Get him up! Now you, Rayburn!
Come on!
Everyone all right?
Gibbs is in bad shape.
Right. Let's get him to the infirmary. Then let's get the hell out of here.
Right this way, my friend. The captain has asked everyone to gather for debriefing, and my assistant and I have set out some refreshments for you.
Ambassador, let me get you a chair.
You don't think all these people have been stuck on their feet for the last several hours? The least we can do is be standing to greet them.
As you wish, Ambassador.
Dr. William Tolman, isn't it?
Yes, you've a good memory.
I'm Ambassador Larrabee Burton. You gave me a physical when I came aboard, and you might remember my aide, Fuchsian Nix.
Yes, lovely to see you again. May I get you both seats?
Everyone here has been on their feet for hours. The least we can do is stand to greet them.
Well put, Fuchsian.
Well, things should be easing up. We'll be breaking orbit any minute. Then it'll be under a week before we're in range of Supply Station 19. I'd wager we'll be stopping into dry dock for a few days at least.
The ambassador has to meet with the Levidian Consortium in 14 days. He can't be delayed.
Oh, nonsense. If the ship you're traveling on getting shot down doesn't earn a few days' grace period, then the Levidians don't deserve the time of day.
I like you, Ambassador. We've transported government officials and ambassadors before. Usually they're a bunch of stuffed shirts, and you can tell they're not happy having to travel on a Grade 3 liner. These older ships don't have the amenities they're used to on their Grade 1 luxury liners.
Oh, that's how many of them have always traveled. They traveled Grade 1 when they were civilians, so it's all they know. I'm just more comfortable on ships like this. Reminds me of home.
When was the last time you heard of a Grade 1 ship crashing?
You do know we got shot down, right? I mean, it's not like we just fell out of the sky and...
I'm sorry, I got a little lost.
You're in the right place. The captain will be here shortly. We're about to break orbit.
I don't think we've met. William Tolman, ship's physician.
Mina, Lysett. I'm, a supply officer.
Nice to meet you. First voyage with us?
Yes?
Don't worry, they're not all like this. Can I offer you a drink?
Yes, please.
This way, I think. Nice talking to you both.
Sorry about that, Ambassador.
You should take care not to offend our hosts.
I know, Ambassador, but I do hope this proves to you that we should be traveling on a higher grade, if not for comfort, then for your safety.
Oh, Fusion, we've talked about this.
You take too many risks. The reason people usually travel grade 1...
No need to worry, everyone. Just an effect of the ship breaking orbit. As you can see, it doesn't even require my presence on the bridge. For those of you that don't know, the gentleman on my left is Acting Chief of Security, Hugh Tyson. Most of you won't know him as he was only supposed to be with us on temporary assignment to transport a prisoner to the Nautilus. But he has graciously stepped up to fill the late Mr. Parcells' very large shoes. Now, I want everyone to look around this room. Apart from Carol Rayburn, a couple of her team, and those in critical condition in the infirmary, this is it. This is all of us able to man this ship until we reach safe harbor. We've lost a lot of good people in the last 8 hours, Captain Jensen among them. But it does them and their memories no good to dwell on that loss. Though the immediate danger is over, we still have a damaged ship and are 4 days away from Cold Station 19. We were shot down by an unknown assailant, but seem to have eluded them at this time. We will regain warp status within the hour, and once we are, we should have smooth sailing until Cold Station 19, where I am going to request additional crew, supplies, and 3 days shore leave for all crew. That's when we'll mourn our dead, not before. The Visium is meant to be crewed by 70-plus individuals. Those of you good at math can probably tell, looking around, that we haven't half that. For that reason, we stay on high alert status for the next 4 days. I need everyone to pull their weight and cover what needs to be covered. A crash like that one would have been catastrophic to a lesser ship or a lesser crew. But we are not a lesser crew. So, Tyson has gotten with Rayburn and put together a duty list for the next 4 days. It'll be a lot heavier than most of you are used to, but it's what needs to be done. Some of you will be asked to step outside of your regular duties. I trust that you will take on these additional responsibilities with heart and vigor. That is how you can honor your fallen comrades. If any of you have skills outside of your field that you think we should know about, please see Lieutenant Tyson before you leave. Everyone, take an hour to eat and relax. Duty rosters will be posted to your accounts at that time. Thank you.
A fine speech, Jupiter.
How about a compromise, Larrabee? How about you call me Val? The only people that call me Jupiter are my parents.
Oh, what a shame. Jupiter is such a lovely and unusual name. Were your parents Jupiter colonists?
No, actually. I was born the same day the Jupiter 2 mission succeeded. I was born 2 weeks early, and I think they just hadn't picked a name yet, so they pulled something from the headlines.
Oh, a good thing you weren't born the day the Uranus colonies declared independence.
Quite.
About what you said earlier, about additional skills. Before I was an ambassador, I worked in a supplies house center, and Fusion here used to fly stocking runs for the embassy. If either of us can be of any help, we would like to offer our services.
We would?
That's very kind of you, Larrabee. I'll have Tyson get you in touch with the quartermaster.
I believe we met her earlier.
It would be good to get a clear idea of what may have been damaged or destroyed in the crash. Would that be all right?
Ideal. There's something very comforting in the repetition of doing inventory, like counting sheep.
And you, Miss Nix. We only have a few people who are qualified flight officers. If you could take an occasional shift in the flight chair, you'd be doing us a big favor.
I've never flown anything bigger than a T-79.
That's all right. When we're in space warp, it's more about aligning the hyperspace vectors and keeping us inside the corridor. It's only at sublight that things get a little tricky. Come by the bridge at 1400 and I'll give you a crash course. I felt pretty good about that speech earlier. Can we just pretend I said something more prudent than crash course?
Of course, Captain.
Thanks. Ah, Mr. Tolman. I wanted to check in and see how Gibbs was doing.
How about that? Did you ever think you'd get the chance to pilot a grade 3 liner?
No. I didn't. I never thought I'd be unlucky enough to get the opportunity.
What are you talking about? Do you realize how many people train to fly these things and never get the chance?
Yeah, but I'm not one of them. I didn't even like flying the T-79. I got airsick every time the inertial dampeners realigned.
Well, now you get to say you have. That'll be a nice anomaly on your resume, won't it? Imagine getting asked about that next time you interview for a position.
You're not planning on replacing me, are you, Ambassador? I know you're disappointed with how strongly I advocate for you sometimes.
Calm down, Fusion. I'm not replacing you, but I am trying to think of your future. I won't be doing this forever. And when I'm gone, well, let's just say I want to make sure you're not stuck waiting on an overprivileged middle-aged men for the rest of eternity.
I'm going to crash the ship, and when I do, it'll be your fault.
Yes. Now come on, help me find that young supply officer.
And he's not responding to stimuli?
No. Medically, he's fine, apart from a broken ankle, a few deep scratches, and some punctures to his lower extremities. It's all pretty minor. He's awake, he's just not responsive.
Could it be shock?
It's highly unlikely.
You didn't see the thing that attacked him.
His suit was compromised. I think it's more likely it might be a reaction to the atmosphere of the planet.
Computer didn't alert us to any toxins in the atmosphere. There was a very low oxygen count and overabundance of beta sheet crystals, but nothing that should have caused problems with limited exposure.
He's stable for the time being. If it wasn't for his ankle, I'd even say he was fit enough for duty, but...
Could it be a toxin from the animal? It might have been venomous, or transferred a bacteria from its claws.
We sterilized the wounds, but I'll run a scan for toxins as soon as I get the chance. The biobeds are maxed out at the moment by the patients in critical condition.
How many we got still in the infirmary?
We have 7 critical patients on 5 biobeds. Of those that were brought in with injuries, we only lost 2.
Give the names to Tyson so he can update the casualty reports, and let me know as soon as Gibbs' condition changes.
Me too, Doc.
I'll let you both know.
If you need me, I'll be on the bridge.
No, you won't. You need rest.
Everyone needs rest, but there's too much to do.
Doctor's orders, I'm afraid. The crisis is past. Go to bed. Someone will let you know if the ship is about to explode. You have my word.
But...
No buts. As the acting chief medical officer, I'm well within my rights. I can order Mr. Tyson to escort you if need be, but I'd go of my own accord if I were you. I hear Mr. Tyson just got this position and he probably has a lot to prove.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in my quarters.
So if the captain is off duty, who's in charge? Seriously, who's in charge? Don't be playing with me, Tolman. Tolman! Come on, Tolman!
Where would you like these?
In storage locker H5, if that's all right.
Not a problem.
You sure you don't mind helping us out?
Oh, not at all. I promised the captain I'd help inventory supplies. After a disaster, this seemed like the best place to begin. Ah, Mina, I was beginning to wonder where you'd gotten to.
I'm sorry, I got a little lost.
Lost? Why don't you come have a seat over here? I should check you for a concussion.
No, it's not that. I'm just new. Been tucked away in the storage holds and haven't really gotten a chance to explore the ship.
You didn't replace Shelby, did you? I saw her listed with the fatalities.
No, Shelby was training me, didn't get very far, unfortunately.
Not a bother, not a bother. Luckily, I was in inventory and supply once upon a time, so I can show you the proverbial ropes.
Well, if the spirit moves you. Would you let me know how we're doing on adrenaline, cortisol, and respiratory stimulants? My primary supplies of each were in the mobile unit that got destroyed on impact.
Certainly. Where might they be?
Extra stores are under beds 3, 4, and 7. The mobile unit is totaled, but if you can stock that cart there in the corner, it's all labeled with what goes where.
There's a pad there on the wall. If you unlock it, you want to bring up the infirmary stock list. We can update it there. I don't have access, so I was just writing everything down before you got here.
Unlock the pad. It's not working.
Huh. It might be damaged. No worries. Pen and paper right here on the cart.
That's my speed. 6, 7, 8, 11. Broken. 12. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you.
not. Okay.
Doctor, I think something's wrong with him.
Mr. Gibbs, ready to rejoin us, are you?
Why does he look like that?
Like what?
Like he's seen a ghost.
You're right. He's not blinking. Give me some artificial tears, would you? There, on the cart.
It's more than that. Look at him. Look at his brow. His eyes are wide open and they're moving so slowly. Look. See? Look. He looked toward the sound, but it took a second for him to respond.
Indeed. I see what you mean about how slow his eye movements are. Could be neurological. Signals might not be getting to the brain like they should.
Could it be a swelling of the nerve fibers at the base of the skull? That could cause signal impairment.
Don't be long. Get it out.
His heart rate is increasing. I need some help over here.
Nick. Get out. Nick.
Mina? You want something from Mina?
Nick. Stop.
People, let go of my wrist. Let go of me. Let go.
Down, Gibbs. We're going to figure out what's wrong with you, and we're going to get you fixed up, all right?
Let go of me. Let go.
Prepare one of the biobits. Help us transfer him. Where are you going?
I got it.
Right. On 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
What can I do now?
We've got it from here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check on Mina.
Do what you gotta do. We've got it on this end. Okay, roll him onto the biobed. Administer 2 grams Solitol. What now?
Collapsed lung on bed 2.
Fantastic. I'll see to bed 2. Dr. Parks, run a complete scan and include a screen for toxins and foreign organisms. Lieutenant Tyson, may I have a word? I need to speak to you about Gibbs. Can you come down to the infirmary?
On my way. Out. Hey, if you need me, just call. Just keep your eyes on the screen, your hands on the stick, and remember, the most important thing is to always...
Always what? Tyson? Lieutenant Tyson?
The most important thing is to... I gotta think of a way to finish that sentence before I see her again. The most important thing.
Hugh, just a moment.
Ambassador, you mind if we walk and talk? I'm on my way to the infirmary.
Let her be. And not at all. I was just there about 15 minutes ago. Have you seen that young woman from supplies anywhere?
Nope, but I've been on the bridge with your aide, Miss Nix, teaching her to drive.
Oh, lovely. I do hope Fuchsian enjoys the change of pace.
I think she'd rather be following you around if you want my take on it.
Well, then let's say I'm enjoying the change of pace on her behalf. All the regulations governing protocol for ambassadors, it's difficult to get a moment to myself sometimes. Still, I hope she has fun.
Well, to be honest, I was having a little fun at her expense. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, not at all. Fuchsia needs to loosen up a bit. Not take everything so seriously all the time. The first day she was assigned to me, she was over 2 hours early and woke me...
Yeah, she seems very dedicated. You said you were looking for supplies? If there's something you need, I could send someone.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I'm looking for the supply officer. We were helping to inventory the infirmary, and she became disturbed when one of the patients took a turn for the worse. She left in a hurry, and I've been trying to find her.
No, I haven't seen her, but I'll keep my eyes open. Can you describe her for me?
Well, she...
Perfect timing. We've got a problem with our Mr. Gibbs.
What, has he gotten worse?
It's difficult to say.
Because
he's gone. He seemed to be coming out of whatever state he was in. I left him on one of the biobeds with one of my team, and when I came back, he was gone.
You mean he just died? No explanation?
What? No, I mean, literally he was gone, missing, disappeared without a trace.
And what did the medic you left him with say?
Nothing. Dr. Parks is missing too. Myself and Dr. Chin were both focused on another patient. Once we got them stabilized, I returned to check on Gibbs. And he was just gone.
Why would he have left? Was he well enough?
Certainly not, and he isn't getting very far on that ankle.
What was he trying to tell Mina?
I'm not sure. It was hard to make out.
Mina?
Yes, he grabbed Mina by the wrist and was trying to tell her something.
What was Mina doing in the infirmary?
She was helping me do inventory.
Wait, Mina is the supply officer you're looking for?
Oh, that's right.
What'd she look like?
Oh, about William's height, light skin, dark, shoulder-length hair, cut at a nice angle, and cut very short over the right ear.
Son of a bitch. Tyson to the captain.
What's wrong?
You're describing Lyset, Mina Lyset. She's the prisoner I was transporting.
Go ahead, Tyson.
We have an escaped prisoner on board, Mina Lyset. She's insinuated herself as an officer to some of the crew. Last seen leaving the infirmary. How long ago?
15 minutes?
15 minutes ago.
Put together a search. Get her found and back to the brig.
Sir, Tyson out.
Lyset is a prisoner?
Yeah, we thought she was killed in the crash, but she must have switched places with one of the crew.
I'll check the morgue and see who is identified as Lyset.
Thanks, Doc. Look, both of you stay here and lock the door. Don't come out until you hear from me, okay?
What about my missing people?
Whew. So he expects us to just wait here and do nothing?
I don't know about do nothing. I've still got several critical patients here and we're severely understaffed.
Well, I'm sure you can handle it, William.
Now, where are you going? Tyson said to stay here.
I'm going to help look for Miss Mina.
We are supposed to stay here. Tyson said she's dangerous.
Did she appear dangerous to you?
No, but...
She didn't appear dangerous to me either. The way that young man is wound up right now, he's liable to put a hole in her before she gets a chance to surrender herself.
You go out there and you're liable to get yourself shot.
Well then, I'll just have to be very, very careful, won't I?
Well, goodbye, I guess.
There's 17, 18, 19, Gramercy.
Ambassador, I didn't hear you knock.
No, of course not. I figured you wouldn't mind if I let myself in, and what do I have to do to get you to call me Larrabee,
Of course. I'm sorry, Larrabee. Can I offer you a drink?
A tea would be lovely, thank you.
I think I have some tea around here.
I was worried about you. You ran out of the infirmary like it was on fire.
I don't do well with sick people. My father died a couple of years ago, and I was with him in and out of the hospital a lot.
Is that why you know so much of the terminology?
Yes. I'm sorry. I don't think I have any tea.
Well, it's so hard to keep track of things like that, isn't it? Especially when it's not your kitchen.
How did you find out?
Tyson. He came down to the infirmary and I let your name slip. A word of advice. When trying to go incognito, don't use your real name.
I had a fake name all picked out, but the second I introduced myself, my real name just slipped out and... only a few people on board knew what I looked like, and apparently the man in the infirmary was one of them. How did you find me?
Oh, it wasn't hard. You want to hide, you pick a place nobody will go. Like the quarters of a patient in critical condition in the infirmary. Philip Gramercy, bed 3. I've been working my way through the list.
So, you're taking me in?
Should I?
Are you armed?
Should I be?
No.
Well, that's a good thing for both of us then, I suppose. Do you want to tell me what you did?
I'm a biologist. There's an outbreak of porphyria on Neptune Station. I was looking for a cure and I was experiencing positive results. But since there's more money in treatments than in cures, the Pharmaceutical Council shut me down. So I worked a little outside of the law.
And did your patients improve?
Yes.
Well...
Wait, where are you going?
To look for Mina Lyset, of course. I hear she's a pretty dangerous criminal. Oh, you didn't by any chance kidnap one of the doctors and their patient from the infirmary, did you?
No. Why?
They are missing at present, but I suspect that problem we shall leave to Mr. Hugh.
Thank you, Larrabee.
Oh, don't mention it. Literally. Don't mention it to anyone.
Come on. There's no sign. Let's head down to 5. Shh.
Oh, hey. Captain.
Tyson, you nearly gave me a heart attack.
Likewise, sir.
Any sign?
No, sir. We've swept all of Deck 1 and 2. No sign.
We just finished Decks 3 and 4. That's 9 decks to go. At this rate, by the time we get to 6, we'll have to check Decks 1 through 5 again.
I'm sorry, sir, but we just don't have the personnel to guard the access to each deck.
We don't have the personnel to do anything properly. Can we turn off life support to non-essential areas? Give her fewer options of places to hide.
No, interior bulkheads are down on all but 3 decks.
Come on, let's try a different strategy. We'll keep working our way down. You two work your way from 13 up. If we're lucky, we'll squeeze...
Shit!
What the hell, Tyson?
Sorry, sir.
Is that Gibbs?
No, sir. ID says Mr. Trilby.
He runs the Visium's mess. He alive?
No, skull's been split open. Why would she lean him up against the door?
I think that's just where he fell. Which means we know one thing.
What's that, sir?
Ly sits somewhere on this deck. Tyson, you see that?
Yes, sir. Looks like the missing medic.
Go see if she's alive.
She is, sir, but she's unconscious.
All right. You two get the doctor back to the infirmary. Tyson and I will keep searching on this level. Larrabee.
Thought I told you to stay in the infirmary.
I thought I could help.
It's not safe here, Larrabee.
Nonsense. She's probably hiding somewhere and just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, well, tell that to the man she killed.
Rubbish. As I understand it, her crime was non-violent.
That depends on your definition.
We found his body by the lift, and we found the missing nurse unconscious, further up the corridor.
I don't believe it, not for a second.
Do you know what she was arrested for?
Not following proper protocols when trying to treat a virus is hardly a capital crime.
Hardly a capital crime. She deliberately infected hundreds of people with a deadly virus without their knowledge.
It's true, Larrabee. 147 people died because of her. She is dangerous, and I need you to go back to the infirmary and lock yourself in. That is an order.
She's in number 19. Mr. Gramercy's quarters back there.
And you weren't going to tell us?
We will have a talk about this later, Ambassador.
Larrabee. And she isn't armed!
Don't move. Get down on the floor. Hands behind your head.
Don't make me shoot you.
I just don't understand it. She's just like Gibbs. No sign of injury, no trauma, she's just unresponsive. Did they say if she was like this when they found her?
No, Dr. Tolman. They just said that they found her unconscious outside the crew quarters on Deck 5.
I can't find anything wrong with her. Prepare biobed 3. Let's do a full scan. Blood work, neurological tests, the works.
What are you thinking, Doctor?
At this point, nothing, but if it's some kind of virus or infection...
Should we institute quarantine procedure?
Should we institute quarantine? Yes. Better safe than sorry. Break out the biohazard gear. Let's seal off the infirmary for the time being. Nobody in or out. If this is some kind of transmittable agent, we've got to locate Gibbs as well. There's no telling how he might be affected.
Ah, Jupiter. I'm glad I caught you on the bridge. I didn't want to disturb you if you were resting.
Doesn't seem like much of a chance of that, since every time I try and rest, I find there is questionable activity happening on my ship.
Now I understand why you'd be upset with me, Jupiter.
Why would the captain be upset with you?
Well, considering the fact that you knew where a fugitive was hiding and seemed perfectly content to not tell us, I'd say upset sounds about right.
There's a fugitive hiding somewhere?
No. We managed to recapture her.
And I did tell you where she was. Eventually.
It's the eventually part that really annoys me. Do you understand that?
Can someone please tell me what is going on?
Later, Fusion. But you see, Jupiter, you make it sound like I'd been deliberately hiding her for days or something. Truth be told, I found her all of 5 minutes before I happened on you and Hugh.
You should have called for us immediately, Ambassador. That's the point. If she'd killed someone else, that would have been on your head.
Larrabee, please. And that's my point, Jupiter. I don't think she did kill anybody. At least not anybody on your ship.
Do you want to tell that to the dead crewman's family?
Believe me, it gives me no pleasure to say this, but it must have been somebody else.
Ambassador.
Captain Jupiter Valeri, I need you to think about this for just a moment, please, because if I'm right, you still have a killer loose on this ship. Now, when I came down that corridor, it was empty, and I came down it from the same direction as you no more than 5 minutes before you did. So think about it. If the corridor was empty and Mina was in Gramercy's quarters in front of me, how did a dead man wind up behind me? Someone other than your prisoner must have attacked that man.
Ugh, will someone please tell me what the hell is going on?
This is Captain Valeri to Lieutenant Tyson.
Oh, reason prevails throughout.
Can someone else try for a bit? I think I'm going to pass out.
You're perfectly safe, Fusion, I promise. I'll explain everything in a bit.
Tyson here.
Have we found Gibbs yet?
No, sir. I've got Lycett in the brig, and I was just about to start interrogating her as to his whereabouts.
Don't bother. Start a ship-wide search for him, but be careful. He may be violent.
Sir?
I don't quite understand it either, but it looks like there may be a strong possibility.
Understood, sir. Out.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Larrabee. I give you credit for your detective work, but she's still responsible for a slew of deaths on Neptune base. I'll see about your relief, Miss Nix. And Larrabee?
Yes, Jupiter.
Don't hide things from me. I need your trust. And if I don't have the trust of you and the crew, we're in trouble here. And quit calling me Jupiter.
Understood, Val. And it won't happen again.
The biobed is ready, Dr. Tolman.
Thank you, Chen. Start the scan, please. Now, this is interesting. On the surface, she looks perfectly fine, but what do you make of that?
That's foreign tissue, isn't it?
Oh, what now? Piece of junk. Must have been damaged in the crash. I tell you, if they'd put just a little bit of money into updating these old Class 3s... No! You scared the life out of me. Are you feeling any better?
What happened?
Now, it's all right. We're just running some scans. Just lie back down for me. Just like that. Perform a physical examination and see if there's any sign of foreign tissue, would you?
How did I...
It'll be all right, Dr. Parks. I'm just going to examine you.
Anything?
There's an open wound and some damage to the surrounding tissue. But no sign of any foreign...
No sign of any foreign what? Dr. Chen? Dr. Chen?
Oh, great. It's you.
Oh. I was expecting there'd be guards.
Worried I'm going to escape and come after you for turning me in.
Great. Now that thought's in my head. Can we go?
I need to speak with her.
I really don't have anything to say to you. You made me think I was safe. You made me think I had a chance of getting away, but as soon as you leave...
If you'll just listen.
I did listen to you, and look where it got me.
You really don't have the moral high ground here. You didn't tell me the truth. You told me you were testing a cure for Corpheria. You didn't say anything about infecting hundreds of people.
I did tell you the truth, just not the whole truth. I needed more cases for my study to be recognized. I thought I'd found a cure, but it turned out to be ineffective in portions of the population, and I failed to control the spread. There were only supposed to be a few dozen test cases.
People that didn't know you were infecting them?
Have you had anyone die of Corpheria? It's not pretty. It's a virus-like disease that affects the outer colonies in greater numbers every year. I was trying to help.
Which is academic at this point, wouldn't you say? Anyways, I wanted to explain that the reason I turned you in had nothing to do with your crime.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
I was told you had killed one of the crew.
I never killed anybody. I swapped clothes with a guard when the ship crashed, but she was already dead, I swear.
There was a dead man just outside the quarters where I found you, but I was able to convince the captain that you couldn't be responsible.
I've never deliberately killed anybody. Look, you have to understand the colonies don't have the resources to develop the treatments. And the bases that do have the resources forbid the import.
Give us a hand with him, would you, Ambassador?
Dr. Tolman, what's he done?
Let me go! You have to listen to me!
He's destroyed the infirmary. All the patients in critical condition are dead.
He wouldn't do that.
We caught him in the act.
You don't understand. It wasn't me.
We saw you, Doc.
William?
No, they're wrong, Fushan. I don't know what's happening, but they're wrong. Dr. Chen attacked me. We struggled, and the next thing I know, they're dragging me down here.
You attacked me and my men when we tried to stop you, Doc. I don't know what's going on, but I can't have you loose like this. I'm sorry.
Dr. Chen, he'll know what happened.
Dr. Chen and Dr. Parks are both missing. Counting Gibbs, that's 3 people I can't find. Now, would either of you like to tell me where they are? Because this shit is starting to get out of hand.
Don't look at me.
I don't know, but we have to find them. I think this might be some kind of infection. You have to tell the captain to exercise quarantine measures.
Till we find those missing people, there's not much of a point. Look, Doc, I hope we can straighten out whatever this is. But whether you realize it or not, I gotta hold you responsible for the deaths of those people in the infirmary. I'll circle back round. I'll see how you're doing a bit later.
Look, Fushan, do me a favor, please. Go to the infirmary. We ran a scan on Dr. Parks before Dr. Chen attacked me. I need to see the finished results, please.
I suppose there's no harm. Larrabee, do you mind?
Oh, I'll join you. I want to get to the bottom of this, too.
We'll be back as quick as we can.
Take your time. It's not like I'm going anywhere.
What about these, sir?
No, those scanners are beyond repair. Once the theta links are damaged, they're unsalvageable. This model was always a little buggy anyways.
I know, sir, but the Boreon chips are compatible with the biobeds. Could cannibalize parts from the two and probably get a couple of them working.
Good thinking.
Rayburn.
Yes, Captain?
What's all this stuff? Some kind of lubricant?
I've no idea, sir. These biobeds use a lot of synthetic organic material for wound remediation. Smells terrible, whatever it is.
Get this place cleaned up. Salvage what you can. I already had Tyson's team remove the bodies.
I really appreciate that, Val. I've never been one with a strong stomach. Burnett has a good idea about cannibalizing some of the parts. I think that we can salvage a couple of the beds.
You can salvage this?
Wing and a prayer, Captain.
Right. Well, let me know if you need anything from me. We're down to 25, not counting Dr. Tolman and Lycett. Larrabee and Miss Fushan-Nix. Why is it if there's a place on board you shouldn't be, you invariably find it?
We just came to collect some scans for the doctor. We'll be out of your way in a minute.
Oh, I wasn't aware we were offering room service. Tell me, Larrabee, what is it about helping prisoners that seems to draw you in like catnip?
Don't look at me. This is all the idea of my young companion here, and you know how impetuous youth can be.
Anyways, we'll just collect the scans and be going.
Not gonna have much luck there, I'm afraid. He fried the records. I might be able to reconstruct some of the data, but it'll take days.
Please, it's important.
I'm afraid we have more to worry about than the records of the recently deceased.
Dr. Tolman said he believes there may have been an infection in Dr. Chen. I really think he's just trying to help.
By destroying the infirmary? Unless it was a computer virus, I don't see what he was hoping to achieve.
Can we at least look and see if we can find the data he needs?
Be my guest. But if I even smell that you are trying to undermine Lieutenant Tyson and try to get your friend out of the brig, either of you, I'm going to have you confined to crew quarters for the rest of the trip. Am I clear?
Perfectly.
Like crystal.
Keep me informed.
Yes, sir.
You know, if you're just looking for a single patient record, I might be able to help you out.
Really?
These biobeds have a crystalline memory lattice. If I can get it working, I should be able to recall the last scan imprinted on its memory. If that's okay, sir.
Give it a shot. We need to get at least one of these working, just in case of a medical emergency.
Do you know which bed was used?
No.
Won't the main computer hold a record of the last unit to draw power?
You're right. Good thinking, Larrabee.
I always fancied myself a bit of a sleuth. That would make you Watson to my homes, wouldn't it, Fusion?
I'm glad one of us is enjoying this.
Make the best of whatever you're faced with. That's how I try to live.
Right, Burnett, get as much of this detritus cleared as you can. Take Gibbs' EV suit there and put it in the incinerator. If there is an infection, let's make sure we don't help it spread. Here, use this hazmat suit.
Right. Sir, there's something inside of it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
What is it, sir?
More of that biomatter.
What's it doing in the suit?
I don't know. Look, there's a tear in the material right there in the right arm. That's where it must be leaking from. It must have been injected straight into the suit.
Why?
Why so many things? Someone might have been trying to hide it when Dr. Tolman interrupted them.
Could the doctor have been trying to hide it?
Forget the computer power trace. Find a biocontaminant suit and burn Gibbs' EV suit. Once you've done that, I want you to get that biobed repaired, the one next to the biomass, and run a chemical analysis on this substance.
What about...
I'll try and salvage Will's patient scans. I've known Will a long time. I'm sure he wouldn't do something like this without a reason.
Where are you going?
Decontamination. I touched that sludge. If there is a possibility of an infection, I want to make sure I don't wind up with the disposition of a rabid wolverine. I'd recommend you get yourselves through a decon as well. That includes you, Burnett.
Sir.
Would you stop that, please? I can't hear myself think.
Want to play 20 questions?
Not really.
Come on. Gotta find some way to pass the time.
I'm trying to figure out why they're saying I destroyed the infirmary.
Maybe because you did?
Look, I know why you're here, and I have no particular desire to associate with you.
Oh, right. I was responsible for the death of some of my patients. Now tell me, what are you here for again?
It's not the same.
No. But I'll bet you and I know how it feels. I've been in your shoes, well, not your shoes exactly, because I remember the bad choices that got me here, but I'm responsible all the same. Look, just try and think of something else. From doctor to doctor, I know that for me, the more I obsess over the problem, the more mistakes I make. Take my advice and try to take your mind off of it.
I'm thinking of something that's alive.
Now you're talking? Is it larger than a cat?
No.
Okay, does it fly?
No.
Is it a type of bird?
No.
Okay, it's an insect.
Yes.
It's a type of beetle?
No.
Does it have a sting?
Yes.
Is it a bee? Come on, you have to at least give me a yes and no. Is it a bumblebee? Dr. Tolman? Dr. Tolman? Dr. Tolman? Are you alright? Dr. Tolman? Help? Help! I might need some help in here. Can anyone hear me? Look, Dr. Tolman, everything is going to be alright. Whatever's wrong, someone will be by just a bit to check on us, alright? You just need to hold on. Dr. Tolman? Anybody?
Thus concludes tonight's strange fantasy. Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of Inside Man, Part 2.
Strange Fantasy presented Inside Man, Part 1. Written by Michael Song. Produced by Ashley Scarbro and Travis Scarbro. Edited by Ashley Scarbro and Travis Scarbro. Original score by Dyssent. An additional score by Travis Scarbro. The players of tonight's tale are as follows. Stephanie Nemeth Parker as Jupiter Valeri. Michael Song as Larrabee Burton. Carmina Manley as Fushan Nix. Ashley Scarbro as Mina Lissette. Travis Scarbro as Hugh Tyson and Gibbs. Heath Allyn as Dr. William Tolman. Samantha Brown as Carol Rayburn. Ty Anderson as Burnett. Shane Hill as Dr. Parks. And Ben Lopez as Dr. Chen. Strange Fantasy Show was created by Travis Scarbro. Strange Fantasy Show is copyright 2020 Strange Fantasy Productions, all rights reserved. Any and all characters appearing in this work are fictitious, and any resemblance to real persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Strange Fantasy. I'm Travis.
Ashley here.
We're the creators, writers, and producers of the show. And we just wanted to take a quick second to let you know that if you like Strange Fantasy, be sure and show your love by subscribing, downloading, and rating the show on iTunes, Spotify, or any of the many platforms we exist on.
And for exclusive rewards and merchandise, or just to donate to our cause to help us to continue to thrive, be sure to visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/strangefantasy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Strange Fantasy Show for updates and haunting original art. All this and more can be found at our website, strangefantasyshow.com. From Strange Fantasy Productions, we do have a brand new project out called The Dastardly Dangerous Adventures of Darby's the Cat. It is available anywhere where you get your podcast.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.